All right, we're live, folks.
Okay, great. I would like to call the meeting to order and also acknowledge that both Tim and Dana are unavailable this evening, so they will not be joining us. So would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item is consent agenda. The recommended action: approve the items below which are included in the consent agenda. 4A minutes, 6B resolution for the disposal of personal property, and 6D special education. May I have a motion, please?
I move it. I will second.
Ryan had it. Thank you.
Any discussion?
Okay. You do that. Can you vote?
Please vote.
Seven yes.
For the good of the cause, Karen, do we have anything?
We do know.
We do not. There's nothing under information.
You can ask the people behind us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot because our back is to you. Is there anyone here that would like to speak?
Did you both sign in on the good? Okay, thank you.
Somebody else is coming in too, so.
Yeah, that's Douglas.
It's Douglas.
Oh.
Where would you like to
Douglas.
stand?
Right.
Just as on the behalf of the Wilmington Youth Commission, we wanted to thank the school district. During our youth program this summer, we unexpectedly did not have transportation for some of the activities we had planned for the students or the kids. And I don't know who worked it out, but somehow we were able to get a bus from Lake Placid, and it really allowed our students to do some things that we weren't able to do without it. So we just wanted to pass that on from the town and from the Youth Commission, and thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wilmington resident, council person, parent.
And your name?
Laura Hunter.
Thank you, Laura.
So I just had a question. The school busing from the fields this year has been an issue, as well as there's not a Wilmington bus for kids playing sports at least 3 days a week. And that's a really huge problem for parents of kids in Wilmington. We get a notice at the beginning of the week, and then we don't have any transportation back to Wilmington after sporting activities. So I would like to know if there's any plans to rectify that. Also, I was asked to talk about the bikes that were given away from the Ironman Foundation to students in the school district, and there was no notice that I'm aware of that came to Wilmington. So those were two concerns that I had to bring to the board.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. There is nothing under information for the board.
Oh,
There's a small, the super eval
Yeah.
and our board self-evaluation, which is due, I think, at the next meeting.
Has everybody been able to get into super eval?
Yeah, it's a nightmare, but yes.
And also NISBA does have a digital experience for their annual meeting, and I do think I'm going to participate in it. If anybody else wants to, just let Karen know. And there is something there now under executive content for you to look over. Four A is under consent. Moving on to personnel. Recommended action: approve the items below which are included in the personnel consent agenda. Items 5B, appointment of long-term technology teacher. 5C, teaching assistant appointment. 5D, long-term teaching assistant appointment. 5E, reappointment of extracurricular activity coordinators for the 24-25 school year. and 5F, volunteer coaching appointment for the fall 2024. May I have a motion, please?
I move. Leave them, unless you
We
want.
got it.
I'll
Got
second.
it. Got you
I'm
covered.
not sure. I think.
I got John and John.
There you go.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Seven yes.
Moving right along.
Are. So moving on to action items, the recommended action is upon recommendation of the superintendent, approve the attached anti-bullying proclamation, of which I will read. Whereas bullying is the aggressive use of power targeting another person or group of people with repeated, unwanted words or action, hurting them emotionally or physically, and whereas bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and online through technology, and whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents annually. And whereas thousands of New York State children and adolescents are affected by bullying annually, and whereas targets of bullying are at increased risk for depression, anxiety, sleep difficulties, lower academic achievement, and dropping out of school, and students who are repeatedly bullied often fear such activities as riding the bus, going to school, interacting online, and attending community activities. And whereas children who bully are at greater risk of engaging in more serious violent behaviors, and whereas children who witness bullying often feel less safe, helpless to stop it, and intimidated. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Board of Education for the Lake Placid Central School proclaims October as National Bullying Prevention Month. And be it further resolved that Lake Placid Central Schools, students, parents, and community organizations be encouraged to engage in a variety of awareness and prevention activities designed to make our community safer for all children and adolescents. May I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Colleen?
Second.
John? Any discussion on this?
Is there an ongoing, on the ground effort going on from this proclamation?
I'm not sure how to answer.
Yeah, I think
I
that
believe
would be,
in
that would be
school,
for Tim.
they do things in school.
Yeah.
There's programs
Different
involved in there, yeah.
Programs within each
Yeah.
of the classrooms, I'm sure.
Mhm.
How is this circulated, this resolution that you just?
So I
That's what
take
it's like.
these ones that Colleen just signed and I send them to the schools. Maybe the paper will have a nice little write-up on it. I'll send it to them as well.
Great.
No, there's a couple of different programs at the elementary and at the middle high school level. That they,
Definitely.
yeah, for sure. Item 6B is.
Oh, wait, I'm still waiting for people to
Oh,
vote.
I'm sorry.
Didn't come up. 7 yes.
6B was consent. And 6C, National Custodian Day. Recommended action is a motion to acknowledge October 2nd, 2024 as National Custodian Day. May I have a motion, please?
Make motion. I'll second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Other than giving much thanks to our custodial staff who are amazing. Please vote.
Seven yes.
Moving on to our second for the good of the cause. Any other contacts to speak? Anyone else want to speak again?
And I'll sign in. I'm just curious because the agendas are online, but there were some blanks in some of the personnel appointments. So the information wasn't available either on paper. You just voted on something and I don't know who got those jobs. I don't know what you voted on. And my understanding was I could look at the proposed agenda online and check it out, which I tried to do. So one is referred to it in a blank. There's no name listed, no name shown, which.
I added that today, Sarah.
I looked before I came, so somehow or another I missed that. And another is by employee reference number. So, and if that's the policy, that's fine, but I just thought I'd point out that I came to listen to you do work and I don't know what you just did.
So I did add the name for the technology teacher. And I just looked and it was not there. And generally, after the end of the personnel part, Tim would say, I want to congratulate so-and-so, and he's not here.
Okay.
So if you'd like, I will say, congratulations to Greg Lindsay for the long-term position of technology teacher. Teaching assistant appointment is Samantha Hayes. She will be our full-time teaching assistant, and Amanda Cassidy will be the long-term teaching assistant covering the maternity leave.
Thank you very much.
One point, I didn't realize that it was Greg Lindsay. I would like to change my vote as an abstention on that one. For the record, please.
All right. Oh, so I should have taken that out of consent is what I should have done.
Okay, that's why I didn't see it, but it's okay.
It's okay.
We'll correct
But there
it.
was a little
Correct.
glitch with the computer. Because
Yeah.
Karen had omitted something earlier, Sarah, and it kept showing up on us when we logged on, and she had to go back in. So there were some little
Yeah.
technical glitches earlier.
That's all good. It's just, I've noticed it before when we're doing consent agendas and, yeah, moving on is fine and shared information is fine, I realize, but
Okay.
I don't know.
No, well, but
It's
no,
happened, so-
I appreciate you bringing that to our attention because we see a different agenda
Absolutely.
than what the general public does. So sometimes it would be probably important for us to log in via the public portal and see what you see.
That probably wouldn't hurt, or just reading it out.
Okay,
You've all seen it and I understand there's a time issue today, but anyway, yeah, thank you so much.
no, thanks
That
so
was my
much. We
question.
appreciate it. Thank you. See where we are. Linking goals with agenda items. Anybody have any that they'd like to bring forward? Kind of a quiet agenda this evening. Missing some of our reports, so Tim and Dana being absent. Anybody have anything?
Anti-bullying, one of them?
Yeah, students first and foremost, the anti-bullying proclamation. Not sure. Anybody has anything additional after the meeting, maybe let Karen know. Which brings us oddly enough, very quickly to our adjournment phase. Our next meeting is October 15th, back in Lake Placid. Anything under old agenda items that we've missed this evening? New agenda? All right, can I have a motion, please, to adjourn the meeting?
I'm moving it. 14 minutes for a record.
Best meeting we've ever had in 3
I
years,
just
yeah.
know we had one last year that was really short.
Shorter than
Wasn't much
14
on it.
minutes.
I mean,
Right.
with Dana not being here with his reports and Tim not having his report and.
So Ron was the first, who was second?
Oh,
We
yeah,
can all do it.
Yeah, unanimous
Executive
second.
decision.
Thanks, Ron. Can I mark you all unanimous?
Yes, you can do that, yes.
Okay.
Our
Meeting is
apologies that we
adjourned
weren't
at
more
5:15.
exciting this evening. But I appreciate you coming, for
Could I
sure.
just ask a quick question? It went by me on the consent agenda. Do we normally put the cost down? I was just looking at the chart, which I can barely read, but is it customary to put the disposal write-off cost, or do we normally leave that blank?
I think that's a Dana question.
Yeah, I don't. I think I think these things that we're disposing of have no value. They're
Oh,
garbage.
well, they,
They're like old
Yeah.
outdated
Yeah.
computers and
Yeah.
various
Don't
other
work.
things.
if we're essentially voting to dispose of something, I think even if it's zero.
Yeah.
We should know what the,
But we can ask Dana.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said.
Yeah,
If I can interject, you can't dispose of something that has value. You can only dispose of something if it's determined to not have a fair market value.
Okay.
So you could put the zero in there, but having value to the school district is really what matters, and it wouldn't be on a disposal list if it wasn't of no value to the district. That doesn't mean, I didn't see the list entirely, but, you know, I might give you $10 for something, but there's a method of determining its useful life, its value, and at that point, it's deemed zero to the district. So you can presume when there's a disposal of an item on your agenda, that the value to the district has been deemed to be zero.
right. I thank you for that. I still think for the uninitiated, including myself, it'd be worthwhile to put zero. I mean, it's no big
I'll
deal.
have, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Um,
I'll have Tim, or whoever, I wish, Tony was in here, he could tell us the process.
I just think it's better transparency for,
It did say on the bottom of the form, broken,
Yeah.
unusable.
yeah.
So it did say that it was not worth it.
Right.
Okay. I think we are adjourned. I don't know.
We are
who's
adjourned.
Going to turn this off so we're not live.
Yeah.
We need a stopwatch for this.
Yeah.